Hello everyone, I'm Radhika Garg and I'm going to present my paper titled Parental Non-Use of Mobile Devices While Caring for Infants and Toddlers at Home. Parents are subjected to two opposite discourses when it comes to their technology use when caring for children. One suggests that as children imitate parents and learn to interact with touch screens, it will help them to develop their fine motor functions and will enhance their play, creativity, and learning. While a contrasting discourse suggests that technology use can be detrimental to parent-child relationship because parents engage in fewer verbal and non-verbal interactions with their children, which can lead to children exhibiting internalizing and externalizing behavior. Therefore, in this work, I ask, how and why do parents use or not use technology in the presence of infants and toddlers in the home? And how do they perceive the technological practices of their spouses or partners in the presence of infants and toddlers in the home? To answer the research questions, I recruited 17 families who had at least one child between 0 to 36 months. The study ran for a period of 6 months. The parents participated in a diary study that ran for 4 weeks, and it was followed by 3 interviews. I elicited practices pertaining to tablets and phones only. I, along with one other researcher, engaged in thematic analysis. The analysis was done in 2 phases, by iteratively reading the diary study data and the interview transcripts from the first 2 families. I developed the initial codes related to our research questions. This list of initial codes was shared by the second researcher who had read the transcripts while transcribing the interviews. Both of us then engaged in extensive discussion to finalize the initial codes and group them into broader categories using affinity diagrams. Thereafter, both of us coded half of the remaining diary material and interview data from the other families, and lastly engaged in discussions to finalize the codes and the categorization and to update the codebook. From our analysis, 4 non-use positions emerged. The first one was about contented use, in which the parents use their mobile devices without any concerns, restrictions, or guilt. The second one was about cautious and reluctant use. In this, parents either use the devices with caution, that is, by applying several strategies to restrict their use in some way, or they use the devices with reluctance or out of habit, which led to discontented use. The third one was about resistance and deferral of technology. In this non-use position, parents employed various restrictions and strategies to resist use and defer it to a later time, despite their temptation to use the device. In some cases, this also equated to discontented non-use. The final was about contented non-use, in which parents were not tempted to use their devices, that is, they did not want to use any restrictions or strategies to avoid using them. From our analysis, it also emerged that there were several factors that influenced parents' selection of non-use positions. First were the aspects of parents' background and personal attitudes towards technology. For example, while some parents valued being highly responsible to children, others valued children's learning about technology. Others thought that high responsiveness towards children will make them clingy. For example, a parent noted, "I do not want to be distracted. No matter what I am missing on the phone, I want to be immediately available for my kids." The second one was regarding suggestions given by extended family members, social ties, or other sources on how a parent should use technology around children. For example, friends advising a parent to reduce technology use because it causes children to become fussy influenced this person, who noted, "Even though I use it for something on which my livelihood is dependent, I felt guilty because my friends, who are also parents of young kids, would not have behaved that way." Emotional reactions that parents observed in themselves and their children in the moment or during their past engagement with mobile devices also influence their position of non-use. In this example, even though the parent wanted to use the phone, the negative emotional reaction of the child led them to not use it. They noted, as soon as I hear baby crying or see her throwing toys all over the place, I know way I'm going to use the phone, even though it's relaxing for me. I would now like to turn your attention towards parents' perception about their partner's use of mobile devices around children. In the first theme, the parents thought their spouse's use of technology around children had more detrimental impact than their own. One of the participants in the interview mentioned, when I have a phone, he's not as affected as he is when my wife is on her phone. But my wife's tablet's use, for example, is proving to be very detrimental to his peace of mind, and I can speculate in the long term to his development. The participants also felt that the other parent fails more often to abide by the mutually decided norms. For example, a father noted, I make sure I'm not on phone until unless it's absolutely necessary. However, she, the wife, even while playing with the baby, will often go through her notifications, which are not even urgent, but she will always complain about me not keeping my side of the deal. Parents' opinion about workload distribution also emerged as a prevalent theme that impacted their decisions and perceptions of technological practices. Some partners even had conflicting opinion about it. For example, a stay-at-home mother noted, all day I am at home, but when he comes back, I need time with my phone. I just cannot continue to ignore it and focus solely on my kids as he expects me to. There were several other factors that emerged and are noted in our paper. For the sake of time, I would like to now discuss the implications of our work. Our study empirically showed that technological practices of parents are continually negotiated due to various factors including culture, external recommendations, daily routines, and living conditions. Parenting styles are characterized by levels of parental responsiveness along with parental demandingness. Parenting styles are also known to be varying by culture and race. They have an effect on parental-child relationship and child development. For instance, authoritarian parenting commonly followed in Black families is characterized by low responsiveness and high demandingness, and it has been linked to positive family reactions, lower rates of suicidal behavior, and less aggression. Therefore, we posit that different technological practices reflects different notions about appropriate levels of parental responsiveness towards children. And more importantly, parents' technological practices and behaviors may therefore have different effects on children in different cultural communities. Future work should develop this theoretical model and assess it over the long term. Finally, I believe that the judgments about partners' technology use to be more inappropriate than their own could be an effect of attribution bias. Therefore, devices can support the caregivers by enabling them to collaboratively identify and prioritize individual and family level goals for child care. For example, one of the goals could be spending 60 minutes a day playing with children without technology. And this should be based on their own values, beliefs, preferences, and needs. At the same time, it should allow for collaborative reflection so that caregivers within a family can together iteratively test their perceptions and impressions by engaging a reflective process of conscious intentional inquiry. And then, if necessary, they could revise their previous understandings of each other's views and brainstorm alternatives for achieving this goal. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. I would also like to thank my participants who shared critical insights with us, Shreya Sadgopan, who helped me with participant recruitment and data analysis, and to Syracuse University for funding this work. Thank you.